Hey, what's up, guys? Before the video starts, I just want to point out that we still are doing the giveaway at 500 subscribers. We're giving away MX bikes, MX versus ATV Reflex, and 5 tracks on MX bikes. They're going to be free to you, paid to me, so, if you wanted 5 tracks on this game and you couldn't get them, I'm going to get them for you. All you have to do is click the subscribe button and let me know down in the comments which one you want. We will catch you guys at the end of the video, and we'll see you then. Alright, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Chubby back again, and today this is going to be a real quick, real short video. It's just 5 tips that I've found since Beta 19 came out that have helped me personally. I've been putting my own time in it, don't get me wrong. I watched Reaper's video. If you haven't, go watch that, then watch mine and combine some of the things, because some of the things that he said in the video really did help me out as well, and some of them, like, I feel like there could have been better tips given out. So, that being said, we are going to get into this here. We're on Redbud, the ARL challenge. This is the low quality version, don't have all the people and stuff on the other side of the track and all that stuff. So, track's the exact same though. The first thing that I'm really going to point out since this new update is, before this new update, you didn't have to, at least for me, you didn't have to lean the body as much. So that's something that I've been doing a lot more since the new update. And not only leaning the body more, but also like leaning back. I know in a corner you don't exactly lean back, but so see how I'm leaning back, and I can get leaned over pretty far in that corner right there. I can lean over and get leaned over pretty far in that corner while I'm leaning back. Now there's a little bit of counter to the right steer as I'm in there, so it kind of, and as you see that, did you see how kind of like it pushes it the bike may not turn, but it kind of like leans the bike just up a little bit. So a lot of people are having problems with dragging their handlebars going through the corners, and that's what's causing the front end to tuck. I've noticed that myself. Let's see if I can get it to do it here. Oh shit. So I'm not gonna lean over in that corner, and we didn't drag that time. But did you see how much tighter of a turn that was? So I'm not saying you have to lean back in every corner, and in some corners you're gonna have to like adjust your lean angle and whatnot. Like, you are gonna have to lean over a little bit more to get the bike to turn a little bit harder. But from what I've found is that with a little bit of counter steer and whatnot, you're going to go into these corners, and okay, see right there, that's what I'm talking about. I lean over just as far as, well, I lean over no further than I did while leaning back, but the bike leans over more, and then when you add that little lean like that, it'll pull the handlebar up off of the ground just enough to keep it from dragging on the ground and completely putting you on your butt. So that's going to help with the front end tucks on that. Tip number 2 is, I know it's going to sound counterintuitive, but if you grew up in my era of racers and whatnot, you heard all of them mention many times that you got to slow down to go faster. And that's true, like, even especially on this game. So say you're just giving it all, like you're going all out as hard as you can, and you keep messing up this corner or that corner or this jump or something along those lines. If you slow down just 1%, like just slow down a little bit earlier going into the corners, charge just a little bit, not as far down the straights and whatnot, you're going to realize that even though you're going slower, you're smooth. So being smooth is fast. And if you grew up in my era of motocross racing, that's one of the things that you heard all the time. Stewart, Carmichael, Reed, all of them. Going slow is fast. Sometimes you have to slow down to go faster, because the smoother you are, the faster you are. It's all about that roll speed. Oh shit. I know you heard him talk about it at Southwick. Then my brain completely glitched there. It was trying to combine Wick and Wake and Lake Southwick. Southwick. Oh my God, you saw it at Southwick. Or you heard him talk about it a lot at Southwick. The roll speed, roll speed, roll speed, roll speed, roll speed. Oh Lord Almighty, speed. Um, the roll speed that you can carry going slower than you can going fast and just burying it into a corner or something. Like if you bury it into a corner and then have to stop, because like it's weird. You don't you don't bury your bike in this game, but you definitely can feel that you like lost all your momentum in that corner because of your entrance. So we're about to crash. So there's that. You gotta kind of slow down a little bit just to get a little bit faster. I know, again, it sounds counterintuitive. I'm trying to go faster. Why would I slow down? But if you slow down to a pace that you're comfortable in and you're smooth at, you'll notice that that pace is faster than your all out 100%. Like if you ride at 95%, you'll realize that your 95% is faster than your 100% all out. Now, tip number 3, this one goes almost without saying and kind of hand in hand with the slowing down. Line selection. Line selection. You know, if you come into a corner super, so say you want to rail this corner and you come into it super tight, you're not going to be able to rail it because of how hard you're going to have to lean into it. You're going to have to sweep more, like run some sweeping lines. Like you're gonna want to make these corners one nice long arch. You're gonna get to the outside, maybe the inside if it's a real slow corner, and then we blow it. But also see how even though we blew it and went over the berm there, even though since we had a real wide line, it wasn't something that put us on the ground there. So that's what I'm saying. Like your line selection, and that's been one of the biggest things for me. I know it's crazy. I'm here I am giving all these other tricks, and line selection was definitely the biggest like thing for me, like biggest help, because I would just notice that I wasn't running the right lines, and then once I started adjusting my line literally by like 6 inches, not even a whole bunch, I noticed that these corners were just a lot smoother. Oh, as we tuck our front end over that. So yeah, just work on your line selection. So again, if you think you're in the right line, move that line 6 inches to the left or right and see what that feels like. It's gonna be a complete world of difference in what that feels like whenever you move that line over just a little bit. Oh, SpongeBob took me out there. SpongeBob really didn't like me. So my tip number 4, and this is going to be controversial as all hell, because you hear people say this doesn't matter, you hear people say this does matter. Setups make a difference. Number 4 tip is a setup. Now, I've always ran the fat front tire, the 90 front tire, and also a 120 rear tire on this game. Maybe that's my problem, but at the same time, what it does in real life is give you more grip. It gives you more tire to bite onto ruts and stuff. And if you're used to that, you don't get those pulls and whatnot. It will make your bike track more, because it's gonna be hard to show without a visual. But say you have a 7-inch wide rut and you have a 7-inch wide tire. Your tire is gonna stick in that rut and track through that rut perfectly. Where if you have a 7-inch wide rut and a 6-inch wide tire, it's gonna give you some play room inside of that rut to get loose. And so that's what, just the more tire there is to fill out the rut, even in this game, I've found it's been a bigger help than a not help, I guess, than a detriment. A bigger help than a detriment. So yeah, there's that, the setups and whatnot. I Look, just get on there, just get in this thing and crank your buttons one way or the other. So, like, one of my buddies found a setup that works for him that was insane. He's running 4 rebound and basically no oil. But it's crazy. It eats braking bumps. Now, for me, the way I ride, that setup kind of packs a little bit too much for me. So, what I mean is, like, coming down these hills right here, it'll, like, pack up, it'll pack, and then buck and throw me over the front end. At least for me on his setup. Everyone rides different, so everyone's going to have a little bit of a different setup. I have a setup that works for me. I really like it. Again, I know that's more of a controversial thing to say because, you know, you hear Reaper, oh, setups don't matter. You hear Troy, setups don't matter. And then, like, you're 100% correct. Like, they're 100% correct that anybody, like, you can hop on the game and run no setup and just, you can run it. You can run that no setup and you can do that. But the quality of life upgrade when you get a setup that you can really push into these corners, like some of these corners on and whatnot, when you can really push down some of these straightaways and the braking bumps and whatnot, the quality of life that you're going to feel with that is going to be absolutely night and day. Like that, my corner speed after getting a legit setup, my corner speed improved a million. And that's the thing, like, you jump for show, you corner for dough. My corner speed is gone up a million times since getting a setup. And again, that's what I said. Like I said, you jump for show, you corner for dough. I want to be able to hit corners fast. So that's the way I set up my setup is for cornering. I'll go a little bit slower down this. So okay, and there's a perfect example of what I was talking about, the lean thing. Did you see as soon as I let go of leaning forward, the front end turned a little bit harder and tucked right there? So that's what I'm meaning. The leaning is way like you actually have to pay attention to it a whole lot more. And coming from Reflex where you didn't have to do that, I know it's going to be hard. At least for me, it was getting used to that. But 300 hours in, and we're getting used to it. Now, my final tip and whatnot is not even controversial. It's just you got to do it. Race more. Now, I know that in Reaper's video, he said don't touch grass and just practice more. That's not exactly what I mean. So, I'm not a person who thinks practice makes perfect because I'm not a perfect doesn't exactly exist in my vocabulary. Like, yes, it's a word, but like you're not ever going to get a perfect lap. You're not ever going to get a perfect this or a perfect that. So practice doesn't make perfect in my opinion. Practice makes permanent in my opinion. And if you're practicing wrong, like if you think that you're in the proper line coming into this corner right here and you're running outside or something, that inside line right there is a million times better. For 250s, 125s, 252 strokes, 450s, that inside line's a better line. So when you're in practice and you think you have the proper line, you're not racing against people who are going faster than you. You're not racing against people who are going to challenge you or make you think about the lines that you're running. You're going to get comfortable and you're going to start running the lines that you run. So if you're in a race, and that's the thing about with E-Road, like in a race you can see where the fast guys are going. Like you can see their lines in the corners and see, oh, they're using this middle rut, they're using this outside rut, they're using this or that, and you can see the proper lines. So that's what it kind of goes hand in hand with the line selection deal. But yeah, if you race more, you're gonna see the fast lines that these guys are running. And of course, you're not gonna run them all. Like I know that a bunch of them. Jesus Christ, Beta 19 bike flips are insane. But yeah, you're gonna get to see the lines that the fast guys are running, and you're gonna be able to practice good lines, and you're not gonna be practicing the wrong lines, the wrong techniques, things like that. Like you're going to be able to improve. Like you're gonna get your ass kicked, that's for sure. You're definitely gonna hop on some online races and get your ass kicked. But at that same time, you're also going to learn. Like if you take it with a grain of salt, like yeah, these guys have been playing for 900 hours, so they're gonna beat me. If you take that with a grain of salt, you're gonna be fine, and you're gonna learn some really good. You're gonna learn some really good habits by racing against faster people. So yeah, that's basically it. Those are my 5 tips and tricks for your average rider to get better at MX bikes. I definitely wouldn't say I'm a pro rider, far from it. Um, but I would say I'm about an average rider, and these are some of the tips that have made an average rider like myself feel a little bit more comfortable on Beta 19 in the game in general. So yeah, take those tips and tricks into consideration. Like I said, go watch Reaper Doc's video as well, and combine some of the tips that I said and he said, and see what you can do. My fastest lap time so far on Redbud is a 2:09.9. If you happen to beat it, let me know down in the comments, and we will see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much, and yeah, later, guys. Bro.